Star Wars Ahsoka episode part 6. I have been waiting for years for this stuff to happen. All right, major spoiler alert. 3, 2, 1. Ezra Bridger finally on screen. Finally, Sabine Wren reunited with her friend Ezra Bridger. And not only just Ezra Bridger, who's more like a new addition to Star Wars in Star Wars Rebels, but like Grand Admiral Thrawn on screen. I mean, I feel like we kind of already got him on screen, like in Rebels and stuff, but oh my gosh, like the actual guy who does his voice, the cool organ music in the background, and just seeing his perfect portrayal, like from Timothy Zahn's creation of him, like just so smart and conniving. And one thing I love about Grand Admiral Thrawn that they did really well in Star Wars Rebels was that he didn't ever just kill and destroy to kill and destroy. Like he would let the rebels get away, and it wasn't like a stupid like Megatron or Cobra Commander kind of way where they're like, we'll get you next time. It was like he would let them away with a purpose, and he would be like, we'll get like it was still like we'll get them next time, but Grand Admiral Thrawn always had such a scheming plan, and this portrayal of him in this show is perfect. It's so good, and just the fact that it's the original voice from Star Wars Rebels. If you haven't seen Star Wars Rebels, like stop what you're doing and go watch all of it because it's really, really good Star Wars. It starts out a little, I guess, juvenile, and so I think that puts some people off. But it's easily the best thing, or among the best things that Disney Star Wars has done. So I'm so happy to finally see threads of Star Wars Rebels continued, namely Sabine showing up and finding Ezra Bridger, and Ezra Bridger with a big beard and cool scraggly clothes and like little rock people, and Grand Admiral Thrawn with all of his awesome unique stormtroopers with all their like patched together armor and cool customized stuff, and the oh my gosh, the Star Destroyer, the Chimera with the big dragon thing on the bottom, just like in Star Wars Rebels. Like, oh my gosh, this episode, this is good Star Wars. I don't want to say it's too little too late because this is really, really great. This is a return to great Star Wars. And like I said, I've been waiting years for this. And when I say years, I mean since the end of the Star Wars Rebels TV show, I've been waiting for the continuation of this story because I think Ezra Bridger's story and the Rebels and Ahsoka are as compelling as like the core chosen one Anakin Luke story. So I love this. This is absolutely amazing. The Ahsoka show started off kind of clunky, but my goodness, this is good. This is good Star Wars. So again, I hope there's only 2 more episodes left, and I hope they can stick the landing because wow, very cool. And I love that Thrawn is just willing to throw away these 2 mercenary people. And I love Ray Stevenson as whatever his name is. He's so cool. And man, rest in peace, that guy. I never knew he existed as an actor, but he is incredible in this show. So every time I hear or see the space whales, the same thing goes through my head, and that's friggin' space whales. I love them. And we could hear this time Huyang, the ancient Jedi training droid. He called them star whales. Like he actually calls them by name because they're apparently in old mystical stories that he's been telling people. So as part of his programming to teach history. So star whales is the official term. But I think I will continue to yell friggin' space whales every time they come up on screen. Can I just say, I friggin' hate streaming. Hate it. I will gladly buy this on disc when it comes out. Okay, listen to what he says. Listen.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
He said the thing. He said the Star Wars thing. Okay, so that to me is so he's telling like the history of the galaxy. He starts with a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. This brings back to like what George Lucas called the Wills, which are like the people that are telling this story, the people that have this history, the people that are watching this history. I can't explain them very well in this short form, but that is some George Lucas stuff right there for Hugh Yang to start with the story, with using that Star Wars language in a galaxy, in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Some people think that's cheesy and too on the nose. I think it's amazing, and I think it's very George Lucas-y. Love it. All right, the reveal of Peridia.
That is Peridia,
Right here, listen to what she says.
the ancient homeworld of my ancestors, the Dathomiri.
What? Okay, Peridia, the ancient homeworld of my ancestors, the Dathomiri. So, as in the Night Witches, as in the planet Dathomir, as in from this book right here. So, as far as my knowledge goes, this is the first time Dathomir was mentioned, maybe in role-playing games or whatever, but this is Courtship of Princess Leia by Dave Wolverton. Let's look at his signature. Yes, autographed copy. So I love this book, and this book introduced Dathomir with the Night Sisters and Luke and Rancors and witches using the Force, which was heretofore unknown. And here, because you're watching this, you get to see this bonus. You get some bonus features here. So I had to make this pamphlet for a sci-fi class in high school. So it's a pamphlet to Dathomir, and you can pause it and read more. And then I covered up my name there. Anyway, oh, it fell off. Okay. 1-800 Han Solo. I gotta cover up my name again. Anyway, there you go. I've kept this for over 20 years. So that is my pamphlet to go adventuring on Dathomir. So I think Dathomir and Night Sisters are very cool. It's cool to have other Force users, like other bad Force users that think they're good. And they never called it the Force in that book. But they're still kind of like tapping into it through dark means. So they're still like the light side and the dark side. Anyway, very cool to see the night witches, or the grandmother, I don't know what they call her, the red ladies. Very cool to see them in this episode, and I'm excited that they're bringing them in. And it's a little cheesy that Ahsoka earlier is like, heir to the Empire, and it's like, okay, I get it, you're using thrawn. But really, they're rewriting heir to the Empire, and honestly, they're doing it in a cool way that's building off of cool stuff. So I love the Timothy Zahn books, and I've met Timothy Zahn, and he has the softest hands. So soft. Sorry, I just started thinking about his soft hands. Anyway, he's such a good writer, and I hope he's involved anytime they bring up Thrawn. But if they are going to rewrite the Thrawn trilogy, they're doing it in a good way. And I don't feel like it's disrespecting Luke, because these characters are established. I want to see Luke do stuff too. So I hope we don't get robbed there. But the Rebels characters, Ezra Bridger, Ahsoka, those are also really good Star Wars characters that I think can be core to the whole mythology of Star Wars, as core as Luke. I don't want to see them replace Luke. I think I would still like to see like a younger CG Luke come into Star Wars if Disney doesn't go out of business and sell itself off in a bunch of pieces every direction and discontinue Star Wars, because they've burnt so many bridges with all the crap Star Wars they've put up heretofore. So I'd like to see more Luke, is what I'm saying. Not just in weird cameos in Mandalorian, but like more good Luke. So here's hoping for that. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people are concerned that Luke's being replaced with Ahsoka. No, he's not. Ahsoka is Ahsoka and Luke is Luke. We're focusing on her right now. I hope we get to see him more, because post Return of the Jedi Luke is awesome and powerful. And I think it's a wasted opportunity to ignore him. But as far as this show goes, I don't really think we're missing him. Maybe if we come back to the original Star Wars galaxy, then we'll start filling his absence. Maybe we can get Luke to meet Ezra Bridger. Oh my gosh, it'd be so cool. He's such a cool crossover. But I don't know, I feel like Lucasfilm just has their head so far up their tauntaun guts that they can't do that. They can't just do cool stuff. Everything has to be... It's like they're getting in their own way of just making so much money by making good Star Wars. Just saying, can Sabine not fit through this gigantic window and just escape? What the heck? Also, once again, I actually really like this. She's trying to use the Force, and stuff starts rumbling, and it's totally the Star Destroyer showing up. And again, it's not her using the Force. I honestly hope she never gets telekinesis Force powers. Like, I love that she keeps trying, and it's really cool. Maybe, I mean, cool if she gets them, but I love that it keeps not working. I appreciate that, and they're making her work for it, because I'm so sick of this modern movie mentality of everyone having everything so easy, specifically female characters. They just, a lot like Rey, for example, she just gets all the powers. And then they try to backtrack it a little bit in Rise of Skywalker and have her start working for it. But that trilogy was too little too late. My goodness. Anyway, this is good. I'm liking this. Can I just say, Sabine fighting these guys with a lightsaber is so cool. And this could be a scene where people would be like, she's a Mary Sue, she's too powerful. Nope, this is Sabine Wren. She is an accomplished Mandalorian, super scrappy warrior, and she has a lightsaber. I loved this scene. And there's one thing that they did after she killed all these dudes that just reminded us that we're in a PG Star Wars that was a little annoying. It's that, so she's on this planet in another galaxy, which, first of all, is just so cool that Star Wars has gone outside of the original galaxy. I'm loving it. But there's all these dead guys everywhere. They clearly have like guns and armor and maybe food and maybe water. You gotta loot the bodies. Come on, you might find a green item. Anyway, so I'm just disappointed that she didn't loot the bodies. And then the bad guys show up to like check on the results of her fight and be like, oh, she survived. And it looks like they're looting the bodies. And it's like, look, looting a body is not a bad guy trait. Sabine should be looking for anything she could use. Maybe she could gather up all the guns and like put them on the back of her crazy dog creature. I don't know. I think that was a little weird. I know that's totally nitpicking, and it doesn't take anything away from the episode, but it's like, come on, these guys have stuff in their pockets. I don't know, maybe this is the military coming out, but they've got stuff in their pockets. They've got guns. They've got ammo. They probably have water. They might even have a cell phone. Like, loot the bodies. So maybe they're just keeping it PG and not doing that, but I was still disappointed that well, especially when her like little Empire Strikes Back scanner thing breaks. And it's like, oh man, your stuff broke. If only like you had some materials to fix it, or like a replacement, or anyway, just she could be a little more Jawa-ish. She needs to find her inner Jawa and do more scrounging. All right, so I have to admit, I like these little rock creatures. I think they're adorable. I think the music going into like cheesy, silly, fun, safe Star Warsy music to show these little creatures, I think it's perfect. I think it fits very Star Warsy, and Dave Filoni his Star Wars has lots of cool creatures and variety, which feels like George Lucas Star Wars. So I like these little puppet creatures, and I love that in these Star Wars shows, like you have like awesome CG, but then you have like practical effects like that just look like 80s puppets that just make it feel like that the galaxy far, far away. Also, it would not be Star Wars if you didn't have a whole bunch of little people running around. So that also felt very Star Warsy, that there's all these like waist to thigh high little creatures surrounding Sabine. So I was like, yeah, we're doing a Star Wars now. Again, that fine line between like parody and imitation and just like the rhyming of Star Wars. So I think this is on the right side of that, where you have little people again. I mean, these all seem like puppets, but that's very Star Warsy. So I like to see all these little rock people. All right, let's just soak this in. Kind of like Sabine's trying to do. Ezra freaking Bridger, Sabine Wren, on the screen together in real life. I don't know who this guy is. I have no idea who it is. He looks amazing. He sounds great. He acts like Ezra. I love this. And I love that we're, just in case you haven't seen Rebels, which is a mistake, by the way, we're establishing what has happened in the past. So they're doing a really good job of delivering just enough exposition for the crazy people that haven't watched Rebels. Also, streaming's frustrating to try and get this to pause in a certain spot, but on his left cheek, he's got this 2-scratch scar that he has in the cartoon, and he has it in here. It's just like, yes, this is Ezra Bridger on screen. I am so incredibly excited to see where this goes. And episode 6 was absolutely amazing. And just like episode 5 was amazing. And I hope that Anakin stuff wasn't just a throwaway. Anyway, I'm loving the show. I will buy it on 4K if they ever freaking release it. Hope the last 2 episodes are great. Let me know what you think of this. I'm loving it. Well, she's bored apparently. Just twitching in her sleep. Goodness. Well, she stops now. There she goes again. All right, I loved it. Loved every second of it. I was on the edge of my seat. Mouth open. So cool. Absolutely amazing. I very much look forward to the grand conclusion of this. I hope it doesn't end on a cliffhanger because I feel like TV shows are super delayed right now. And selfishly, I want it sooner, but this has been outstanding. Good job, Disney, for not screwing up a Star Wars, at least the first 6 episodes. So anyway, let me know what you think of this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.